Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hypno News Live. Grant Saunders, how
Yay.
are you?
All right. It's nice to finally be back properly. We tried it from foreign countries, we tried it from car parks, we tried it from everywhere. We're now from a hotel. So yeah, it's good to be back.
You know, that is one of the challenges when you are a working hypnotist,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We don't have the luxury of just sitting in the office all day. So
No.
there
And
you
it's
go.
it's weird timing wise. It's always worked out well, but this past couple of weeks it's worked out difficult. But like you said, it's the joys of a jobbing hypnotist.
Yes, yes. Well, and you have a challenging schedule too, because I know you want to do this project at a time that's convenient for the most amount of people, which is 5 p.m. Pacific, so it's 8 p.m. Eastern time. But then over in jolly old England, we're at like what, 2 in the morning or something, or
1 o'clock in the morning now because we've got daylight savings. So yeah.
right, yeah, right. And so, hey, if anybody's watching right now, well, those of you that are watching, I see several of you are watching right now. Please do comment down. Let us know where you're at.
Yeah,
Grant,
it's always interesting to know where people are watching from.
It is, because we've had people from far away. And where are you actually at today? You're not in Manchester.
No, I'm right at the bottom. Well, I was in a place called Weymouth, which was a beautiful little coastal town here in England near Glastonbury. But I'm now in Weston-super-Mare because I'm travelling my way back up the country to tomorrow night's gig, which is in Wales. So yeah, all fun and games.
I gotta tell you, I just find it so cool that you can. I mean, Wales is like it's part of the UK, but it's a sort of separate country, or
yeah, it's definitely a separate country. It's got their own language and everything.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Which is again kind of strange that you can have a different language when you're so close. But I mean, we're going back centuries when it wasn't so easy to just drive over, right?
Well, yeah. It's I have a lot of good friends in Wales, so I'll not comment too much about it. It's weird because like you drive into Wales, and most of the street signs, the highway signs, are in English and in Welsh as well.
Nice.
So that's really weird.
Nice. And tell us, so Grant, you were, I don't remember, have we had a chance to catch up with you since you've been over to the Far East?
Not since I've got back. Yeah, we kind of touched base a little bit, but then it was choppy internet. But yeah, it's been great kind of checking out spaces for the 2024 retreat. Over in Thailand, Vietnam, and then a little bit in Singapore. I actually said this tonight at tonight's show. I always make a comment and go, I travel the world doing this show. And somebody made a comment and I went, it's been Thailand, Vietnam, Singapore, Bridlington, and now Weymouth. Says it's going downhill quick.
Damn.
Exactly. Susan Gilliam, hello. I can't always prefer. I think it's Gilliam.
Gilliam. Yeah, it's the I that gives it away, I think.
Not if you're Welsh.
Oh. That's true. Yeah.
Who knows what you're going to say?
There's not enough consonants if it's Welsh.
I was watching this. This was years ago before they had a lot of captions on Netflix. But I was watching some detective show that was taking place. It was like in the UK, but one of the characters was supposed to be from Wales, and I had to give up. I could not understand a damn word he was saying. He was speaking English, but with some kind of an accent that was just so hard to understand.
Yeah. It's one of the great things about the accents here in the UK is in a short space of time they can change so much. Like when you consider Scotland's only a few hours north, and some of the Scottish accents are just, I can't understand them. And when you get to Wales, that's something else as well.
So speaking of Susan Gilliam, Susan, I have information about speakers, by the way. I picked up some JBCs, and I think they're a good fit. Anyway, never mind. That's a different topic. Unless you're a stage hypnotist and you're looking for speakers. So look at JBC Eon. Pretty good fit. We are going to be seeing Susan next week, Grant. Why are we going to be seeing Susan next week?
It's Heartland's Hypnosis Conference.
Oh yes.
I know.
Let's
I'm
bring
really
that
excited
baby
about that. It is really,
Can't
you know what I mean? Yeah, it is great. We've got a workshop there.
We do have a
talks.
workshop there. Talks. What are you presenting on while you're there, Grant?
I'm doing my stage hypnosis. Don't be a chicken.
It's a great one.
Yeah, which is basically about the horror stories of the road. You know, anything that can go wrong does go wrong, but the importance of just, you know what, don't worry about it. Just get up there and do it. It's
so true. I don't know why I'm having trouble finding it.
It's a great conference for. I think the size wise, it's perfect. You know, it's not.
You know what?
It's not too busy. It's not too quiet. It's just, you know, there's a great mix of people.
You know, dude, I agree completely. The size is perfect. It really is. I mean, you say what you will about Hypnothoughts, love Hypnothoughts, but I tell you what, man, you're not going to meet as many people. You're going to be. It's just such an overload, and you go out to Heartland and you get to chat with people you never get to chat with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, last time, look at us, we made some great contacts, but, you know, sitting and having a chat and a natter with some great people. So, yeah.
Yes. I don't know why I cannot pull up the, I mean, you don't see, no, that's not on the screen. I swear I'm doing the share screen, but it is just not sharing. For some reason, it's not sharing the Heartland one. Got performing hypnosis. It's just not available for some reason. I'm looking at it, but I'm going to tell you guys, go to heartlandhypnosisconference.com. Oh, now see I'm getting all kinds of, this is why I'm getting all kinds of notifications from Google that now Google says I no longer has permission to capture my screen. I don't know. I didn't take it away. Anyway, so
I think it's because it's not Be Live.
Well, since a Wave is not paying me to use their product, I will go ahead and say yes. That's exactly right. But hey, if you head over to heartlandhypnosisconference.com/trainings, I'm going to be teaching Kill It on social media. And actually, and Susan will want to know this. We haven't talked about this yet, but we're probably going to be live streaming part of our Level Up workshop, at least for an hour, because we do have the mastermind on that Monday, I think. I was checking the schedule. So we've got to figure out how to coordinate that. I know Susan was there last time, so that's really, really awesome. Alan is easier, she says. Mine has already gone wrong this week right here. I don't know what that means, Susan. Maybe.
I think we're talking about the shows what can go wrong, will go wrong.
Right. Susan, drop us a comment. Let us know what you mean. Go ahead.
Yeah. As you say, it's one of the joys about doing what we do, that, you know, it's the times when it goes wrong that we get the stories from it, the lessons from it. And it's nice when it runs smoothly and everything is fantastic. But it's doing the shows when times are challenging, when you get the good stories from it, when you learn, to test your mettle.
Yeah, right. And you know, like I remember figuring this out back when I was doing stand-up comedy. I decided. Sorry, something just flashed on my screen. Okay. When I was doing stand-up comedy, I came up with the saying that there were no bad experiences in life, only joke writing opportunities.
Yes,
that's the way it is. Because there's some kind of quote. There's like a meme out there that says, no good story starts with, I was sitting there on the couch minding my own business, everything was going great, right? It's always when the S hits the fan. Susan, I've had that happen. She says my tablet updated, then it wiped all of my music from my performance shows, everything gone. I actually had that happen. I was heading down to a grad night party, at in Oregon, and you've had Dan Hetrick on your show, haven't you, Grant?
Yeah, great guy.
Stop Smoking. Yeah, really cool guy. And I was happened to be staying at his house, or stopping in to see him, I think, or staying over, whatever. And it was. I just opened up my music. We were going to test it out, and everything was gone. Everything was just gone, and I still have no idea why that was. Luckily, it was backed up in Google Drive. Go ahead.
Yeah, I learned that a few years ago. Alan, who used to do my sound, we'd travelled down to London, I think it was. Got to the venue, and it was at that point. Luckily, the football was on as well. But it was at that point Alan said to me, like, "Oh yeah, actually, I had a problem with my computer and reformatted his hard drive or whatever it was." So he was literally telling me as we'd got to the venue, there is no show music. But cool as a cucumber, I've just said to the organizer, I've gone, "Oh, whilst the football's on, we're just going to nip to McDonald's and get something to eat." Literally went to the local McDonald's where there was free Wi-Fi. I'm like, right, let's just download the minimum of what we can. So now it's on my phone, it's on a flash drive, it's on Google Drive, it is everywhere. So no matter where I'm in the world, I have got my music.
He even carries a little sheet music in his breast pocket, so he can just pull it out and have somebody sing
exactly.
It if he needs to.
I can whistle it if I need to.
So Susan was up until 3 a.m. and then she's going to get a backup device and load it all again. No support from the tablet company. I didn't know to cry or vomit. Both is appropriate.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
Were you heading out to do a show, Susan, or was it? Because that'll really mess with you. I got to tell you though. I will tell you that I've seen Flip Orley. Are you familiar with Flip Orley, Grant?
Yeah, I know the name. Magician.
Yeah. No, he's a hypnotist.
Oh.
But he does a show, and there's no music. He doesn't use any music, and I was just like, wow.
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, that's amazing, and it was a great show. It was a fantastic show. He's a headlining performer. He's not just some guy down the street. He's a really a professional guy. No music, and I said, man, that's if I were gonna start a new show, I would try to work out bits that didn't need music.
Yeah. The more you have to rely on technology, the more stuff can go wrong. I think I once got booked for. I never did the show in the end. It was for a Orthodox Jewish celebration. I think it was 300 people, and they're like, "Oh, because it's on the Sabbath, you're not allowed to use any electricity whatsoever." And I'm like, "I don't know if I can do that."
So, He just didn't do it.
No, I couldn't figure out a way that I could do it in the end. I think somebody else did it and really struggled with it. So I'm like, let struggle with it. So yeah.
I've done one like that before. I was at a kids camp, so I was able to pull it off because kids are so easy and fun anyway. I was able to work some skits that didn't require it. But I remember somebody was telling me, I don't know who it was, said that they actually asked then if they could provide someone to play guitar or piano, and then they were able to pull it off that way. So that works too.
Yeah, it's one of the weird challenges that we get. When we're performing, and people are looking for different types of entertainment. For me, sometimes, and that was a good occasion of it, sometimes it's like, maybe my show's not the right show for what you're looking for. Let me recommend somebody else. And so, when I was younger, how old does that make me sound? When I was younger, I would happily take on any challenges.
Right.
I can do a show there. I can do that. I can do that. Now I'm kind of like, maybe you want a magician.
It's funny because I gave somebody some advice, and this is what I hate about our Facebook groups. We're trying to keep the Performing Hypnosis Summit no drama. But I remember somebody had asked something about doing a show. I don't remember what it was now. Terrible story because I don't remember the details. But they were asking about doing some kind of, and I remember going, I would pass on it. And then of course a bunch of other hypnotists, well, why are you going to pass? That's your limiting beliefs and all this stuff. And I'm like, look, I've been doing this long enough that I can probably pull something off. But would they have a better experience if it was a magician or a karaoke or a band or something? And I mean, really, it's unethical for us to just go out there, charge a bunch of money, and put on a show when we know it's not going to be the best as it could be.
Yeah, Yeah, and I think sometimes the client will respect you more in the long run for that. When you kind of go, I don't think this type of show is right for you. Why don't you try one of these? So then later on, if they come back to you for something else, and you do go, my show would be brilliant for that, they've got more of a belief in you.
I think it just shows so much integrity and professionalism to be able to say, look, this hypnosis is probably not the best fit. We're not the best fit for every show. I mean, we're just not for every entertainment opportunity. Just
exactly. Not. The amount of times I get inquiries for like children's birthday parties, and I'm like,
oh,
no.
right.
Like, no, I'm not a clown, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So nursing homes might enjoy a magician rather than hypnotist. I agree. If you're doing that kind of thing, always make sure that the staff is going to be able to participate. I've done some shows at Active Living and stuff like that, and you really got to get the staff volunteering, because they'll be fine.
Yeah. It is so weird that what we do and how broad shows can be.
Yeah. And clients don't know. They're like, oh, I saw a hypnotist once and I thought it'd be really fun. Like, it would be, but you got 10 people going to be there. It's probably not going to be as good as it could be.
Yeah, so, that's exactly what I had with the client tonight. They were like, oh yeah. We saw Paul McKenna in the 90s. And I'm like, no, it's not the same.
It's not the same, right?
No, it's not the same.
Probably a full theater, and yeah.
Oh, exactly. Well, that's what I was trying to explain to them. I went, there was probably about maybe 1,000 people in that audience, right. And you've not provided 1,000 people tonight.
Exactly. That you've provided less than 1%. So I'm going to do a less than 1% show for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're just so dependent on the audience that just makes sense sometimes. You'll feel better about it if you just pass on it. It's not worth the money, guys. Really, unless you're first starting out. Then you got to do whatever you can.
Yeah. I was having this conversation with a lady this afternoon who rang me, a hypnotherapist that's looking at doing some stage stuff, and the conversation was literally that, like, do some shit shows to start with, just to kind of test your mettle, and then you want to just do good shows, or line it up so that all the ducks are in the row for the good shows. Like, anyone can do cheap shows in bars and the wrong venues, but the effect that it has on your self-esteem as a performer, can do you further damage further down the road. So
yeah. And so there's a bunch. So, yes, you and I are doing Level Up Your Mindset for Success. We've got a whole day, great stuff planned for that. Super cheap too.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, we're not making any money on that one. Is it even going to cover the hotel? I don't know. It's a good deal, everybody.
I was going to say, I don't think we don't do anything for the money though, do we, Jim? We do it because, I don't know,
for the love. That's right.
For the love. Exactly.
And the groupies, of course. all the stage hypnosis groupies.
Yeah.
Looks legendary. Like Williams also. What's that?
It says they're legendary.
Legendary indeed. Looks like we got an NGH certification going on out there.
Awesome.
Some transonics linking hypnosis and sound healing, and help your clients stop smoking now and for good. Love it. Great schedule. Great. I mean, each conference, just great stuff. Each one is just different. So yeah, here's one I want to, and I think I can share this screen. For some reason, it looks like I can share this screen. I don't know. Let's see. Nath, remember who? You remember Linda Thurnberg?
Yes.
From Michigan, the Michigan conference. Are you seeing this? Can you see the screen?
I just saw something flash across the screen then.
Okay.
Oh, but it's gone again.
Okay. So, oh wait, what happened? So NATH is the I can't remember what it stands for. Oh, there it is. National Association of Transpersonal Hypnotherapists, and this is happening out in November, Virginia Beach. Now, this is cool. November 10th and 12th, Virginia Beach. I think it's in Virginia. Not positive. It's a big country.
Is it near the beach?
It might be. It might even be near the beach. Now, I don't know if y'all can see this. You're on your phone, so I don't think you can see it. Susan, can you see the screen I'm sharing? I don't know. Stupid platform. Wave. Damn you, Wave. If you can, I'm going to read it to you. So this is what's cool. So if you present for a 1 hour presentation, you get half off the conference registration, which is great. You get discounted table, all that. Now, if you do a 2 hour, check this out. I've not seen this before. You get $150 payment for your 2 hour presentation. What?
Nice.
And you get the free conference. Boy, it would make sense, guys. Don't do a 1 hour, do a 2 hour, because you get $150 and free conference as opposed to half off conference registration. Wow.
That is good.
Yeah. So yeah, so the Nath, Linda, really, really, really nice person. My first time meeting her and some of her cohorts. Became good friends with Amanda out there. She's doing a lot of good work. So yeah, go check this out. So she's on her phone too. So she says she needs to get her pottery wheel. Sean Kostick. Didn't have a chance to Sean, thank you so much for jumping on board last week, because both Grant and I were out. There were some problems. There was all these different permissions. So he wasn't able to get on stream to Facebook. We do have it over there on YouTube. Did a really great episode. So that's nice. So this conference out here, Nath, it's body, mind, and spirit. Maybe a little more on the woo-woo side.
Again, as I'm getting older, I'm getting a bit more woo-woo.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing. And I don't know if it is an age thing, but I do think there's an element to the energy side of it. There's an element to the drama side of it, especially coming from the stage side. I think having that, just helps with the hypnotherapy. And I know there's a big push for years of it being like science-based and evidence-based. But I quite like the woo-woo based stuff as well. So, I can see that now. Yeah, you shared the screen.
Oh, you know what? I wasn't pressing the right buttons. That was the problem.
Operator error.
Yes, but still, I still don't know why the other one wasn't. There is the rejuvenation retreats. It's got some really a lot of good stuff. I get a lot of emails from Linda. They're doing a lot of stuff out there. Yeah. So I agree, Grant. I've always been kind of back and forth on that whole arena. And you got nothing to lose by being open-minded, at least.
Yeah, exactly. It's and especially in this industry, and if it works for some people, then it works.
Yeah, and this is what I feel like is like if you're going after clients that are more science-based, more analytical, it's really kind of an uphill battle. Yeah. Whereas if you just embrace the woo, those folks are already into the kind of non-scientific. Even though here's the thing, here's the crazy about hypnosis. It's actually science-based. There's actually a ton of research, but still people don't see it that way, and they still think it's woo-woo. When it's actually the more science, there's been more science studies done on the efficacy of hypnosis than all these other, NLP and all these other things, and yet we're still in the woo-woo box. So I kind of feel like if you just embrace that, you'll get a lot more clients.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see how I think it would be more effective, by adding that, purple smoke, cloaks, crystals, wands,
right?
Come up through the floor.
All of it. All of it. Be quite a stage show too, wouldn't it? Just
exactly. I love the idea of doing like a almost a faith healing stage show.
Yeah, fun. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea too. That's that's a really really cool notion. Even going back, maybe vaudeville-ish, like the kind of almost more creepy than funny.
Yeah.
The
I mean, that's how my shows build anyway.
Presented to some school counselors, and they were concerned about the woo factor. Yeah, but tell them that it's less woo than all the other stuff.
Yeah.
It's so much based in science, and there's so many research studies by major universities. I just don't know why we're still stuck with the that. So, do you fight it or do you just embrace it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Cool beans.
So, I didn't find any news or research this week, but I know we've got a funny story and we've got a pro tip. Which would you like to do, Grant?
I'll do pro tip.
Damn it.
It's no pressure to be funny then. I think for me, the pro tip is, and it's going back to basics, but prepare for the unexpected. I'm normally quite when it comes to my shows, I'm normally quite organised. But this past couple of weeks, the jet lag from the travelling hit me. And then I came down with some kind of virus this week. So I ended up spending 2 days literally curled up in bed, in pain, in agony. And today was the first day I thought, I've got to be right for my shows. And I thought, it's going to take me 7 hours drive to get to tonight's venue. So I literally stayed in bed as long as I could before I had to set off. And I thought, I feel well enough to leave now. As I've left, when something niggles in the back of your mind. So as I've left, I then realised, my microphone is in Alan's van because I let him use it the other day. So I'm like, oh shit, this is now cutting into my time. So I rang Alan and I've gone, is your van keys at the office? Because my microphone's still in the back of your van. And he's like, oh no, I've got the van keys with me. So I'm like, right, well, I'll drive to yours. And a halfway drive into where he was, he's then rang me going, I can't find the keys here at all. Maybe they are at the office. So if you can go to the office and check that. So I've then driven to the office to check that. As I've got to the office, I've realised I've not got my contact lenses for my show. And I never wear my glasses for my show. And so I'm going to need to get my contact lenses. That's adding another half an hour on. Now I'm like, I've got my sound check at 5:30. Gets to the office, find the van key, sorts that out, think, right, that's brilliant. I'm going to drive into town, get that stuff sorted, then it'll be fine. But now I'm running behind. It was at this moment that I realised that the niggling feeling that I had was nothing to do with the microphone. It was nothing to do with contact lenses. It was to do with just before I left to do the Thailand trip, I remember that my car was due for its MOT. But because I'm organised, I sent it in before I went, and that was fine. But I then realised that meant that my car tax was due at the same time. So I've gone online to double check this and then realised that my car tax was due on the 1st of April. So my car was untaxed. Here in the UK, if you've got an untaxed car, it gets flagged up on all the cameras. They clamp your car and they confiscate it. So I'm like, they confiscate your vehicle. And I'm like, oh, wow, I've got 2 big shows this weekend. The last thing I need is to get my car confiscated.
Right.
So I'm like, I now need to drive back home to find the paperwork so I can then tax my vehicle. And so for someone that's normally very organised, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. I should have, as a professional, factored in that kind of mistakes. I should prepared for what could go wrong, prepared for the kind of stuff that you can't plan for. Normally I'll add an hour onto my journey time for flat tires, traffic, or any of those things, but all of that just went out of the window. And so that was an absolute nightmare. So that meant I was rushing everything else then, trying to catch up to that, which meant the hotel that I'd booked in order to get to the venue, which when I looked at it on the map was right next to the motorway, everything was fine. Turns out was 2.5 hours away from the venue down some stupid country roads. And it was just like, and all because of that whole, do you know what, I've got plenty of time, I'll just leave when I need to leave. So yeah, pro tip, add extra time and plan in those things that could go wrong, because they will do.
You know, Grant, I got to tell you, I am late. Well, I used to be. I've gotten much better. I actually figured out a way. So I used to be always late, and then what I figured out was the reason I was always late everywhere was because I was trying to be on time, and so invariably I couldn't find parking or whatever, and so I started showing up earlier. But one thing I was never late for was shows, any kind of performance, only because I would literally leave 2 hours or plan to leave 2 hours earlier.
Yeah.
But oftentimes I ended up leaving. So many of those kind of things would happen. I would be leaving right on time.
Yeah.
But that was the only reason was because I always left, like I'm going to leave. I always left way early. And very, very rarely did I show up way early. Something happens.
Exactly. There's a show I do. It's an important show to me. I mean, I've been doing it for 12 years now. So in season, it's every week. So what I always do is I always drive down really early. And my plan is to get to the nearest motorway services to the venue. And once I've got there, I know I'm 40 minutes away and everything's fine. And I always kind of think, do you know what? Set off hours in advance, and when you get there, literally most times I get there, order a coffee, back in the car, and I've got to go. Something, the universe magically finds a way of filling that time up.
It does, yeah. Because you always think, I mean, wouldn't it just be nice? You show up, you're there like 2 hours early. You're gonna have some coffee, do some Facebook, and maybe even film a live video or something just for fun promotion. No, then you're rushing, going, oh my God, where's the guy I got to talk to? And all that? Oh, yeah. Yep. Totally. Good pro tip. Leave way early, everybody, and make sure everything's all set up. Make a list. You got to have a list of all the stuff that you need. Check it. I have lists, but I don't check them. I'm like, oh, I got this. Then I show up and I forgot my holder and those kind of things. So,
yeah.
Okay. Funny story. So, first, I had never done this one bit before, and I was talking to Jim Sellis, very, very famous, wonderful stage hypnotist. And I remember we were just talking. He goes, "Oh, I used to have this." He goes, "I have so much fun with this one bit that I do. The I'm your favorite celebrity." Yeah, so it's a common bit. A lot of people do it. And I was like, "Oh, I'm going to do that. That'll be fun." And so I go to this. I'm doing the show again this year, in fact. And I go to Oakdale, California. It's a high school grad night party, and I should have thought this through, because what happens is I tell these kids, I am your favorite celebrity. And, like we've talked about before, don't forget how powerful hypnosis is, because, you get in this place where you're like, oh, it's hypnosis, especially if you're working with adults. They're pretty tame. Dude, I said this, and I said on the count of 3, I am your favorite celebrity. And I had 15 kids bum rush me. And it was like they were pushing up on me and grabbing me. Oh my God. And I felt like Elvis. It was amazing. Or the Beatles or Beads, whoever's big now.
Yeah.
It was an amazing feeling. But the problem was I couldn't get anything done. So the whole audience is cracking up. And I'm like, I can't get off me. Stop. So you have to give your favorite celebrity space and stuff. And there's still a couple of them just clinging onto my arms. So I mean, it took like 5 minutes to calm them down, and then it is my favorite bit now, especially with the college or the high school students, because it is so real for them.
Yeah.
And I put a clip up, and it's this girl. She thinks I'm Ryan Reynolds, and she's crying. She's so excited that it's Ryan Reynolds, and it was so much fun, but it was quite a learning experience too.
That is cool.
Oh, yes. Did you get
them to take a selfie with the celebrity?
I took the selfie. I took this. So I said I held the camera out there, but that would have been funny too. That's a good bit too. Take a selfie with with the celebrity. Yeah. It was amazing. Of course, it would work just as well with a female hypnotist. Yeah, they'll think whoever you see. And here's the great thing: is what I've seen some people before. Oh, actually, I did this bit before, but what I did, this is okay. Here's a funny. Here, I'm going to take you on another funny story, because I did a show. One of my first shows I did at the comedy club, and when I was doing comedy clubs, I didn't realize you could do like I'm your favorite celebrity. I thought I had to give them like a specific thing. It didn't occur to me I could just say your favorite celebrity. So I picked this one person out. It was going to be a single person bit, a solo bit, and I forgot to ask him, and I asked his friends. I go, well, who's his favorite celebrity? Who's he got a crush on or something? They go, Brad Pitt. And I'm like, come on, guys, not cool, you know? And so I go Beyonce. Beyonce was big at the time. So I go, I'm Beyonce. And so he wakes up and he's kind of like, ooh, wow, he wasn't that excited. So later on, it turns out, he goes, I wasn't that excited about Beyonce because I'm gay. And I was like, oh, they weren't messing with me.
Yeah. I must admit, I remember doing the two guys dancing routine, which is it's one of my favorite bits that I do, and I do it a specific way that I think is unique to me, but we all think that, don't we? And but I kind of, there's a thing that I do with the audience that's really cool. But anyway, of course I'm going to say that. Amazing. But this one time I've done it and I didn't know the guy was gay. And it was instantly not as funny.
Right. Not as funny.
It's just, exactly. So, interesting.
Yeah. Susan, I bet that you'll end up being like Taylor Swift. You'll end up being Nicki Minaj. You'll be all those people. So, it'll be just as fun. You'll have all the boys up there going, oh, Taylor, oh, Taylor. So Susan says, I had someone tell me in their belly button routine about their belly button, and they had a baby in their belly button, and I just moved on. Well, that's probably a good idea if you're doing a high school show.
Yeah.
Yikes. In her polka dots. Right. Well, Grant, it's been another fabulous episode. I think this is probably episode 25, 26, 6 months now, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Fantastic.
I'm quite pleased about that.
So am I.
Yeah.
As I've progressed in my, I'll just say awesomeness. I don't know. My consistency has gotten so much better, and my success has gotten so much better. So
consistency is absolute key. Which I hate saying that, considering the past couple of weeks I've been so inconsistent. But consistency is absolute key. But you know what's great about it? It's exactly that. Because when you're off-piste. So when you're not doing the things you should be doing regularly, when you're doing them, you kind of, your whole mind, body, everything kind of goes, you're not on track. And so that consistency pulls you back on track. So, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I would say too is you still showed up. So except for last week, neither one of us. I mean, sometimes those things happen. We can't be here for it, but we did get it covered by Sean, who did a great job.
Yeah.
What is the schedule for this session? Time, date? I was lucky. I don't know what session you're talking about, Susan.
I think for these, it's every Thursday at whatever time this is.
Well, it's so Susan, I think you're in Eastern time, so it'd be 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's 5 p.m. Pacific. Yes.
Yeah.
And Susan, if you would like to come on, anybody, if you'd like to come on, Sean, if you want to come on and be a guest sometime, you can, if you've got something you're doing like a training or something, if you've got a meetup, if you want to tell a funny story, if you want to do a pro tip, we'd love to have you on. You can either send it to us and we'll share it, or even better, we can invite you on to the show with us. You can be live with us.
Yeah,
we'd love to have it.
If you've got a hidden talent, like beatboxing, anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Susan, next week, have something planned and be ready to join. Oh, although I think we're both going to be, no, I will already be in Heartland. I think you might already be in Heartland too. So we'll probably
Yeah.
Film from there. Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, which is 7 p.m. out there.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what time I land. Probably around that time. I think I'm there a little bit earlier. That I want to see.
Me too. I want to hear the British accent. Definitely.
Yeah.
So many hidden talents. Susan, of course, is driving on Thursday, so she'll be at the event. Can't wait, man.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, especially that reception dinner, the meet and greet thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I might bring the new suit from Vietnam.
Oh, I'm so envious. When we go to Thailand next year, I'm coming back with like 10.
Yeah, I must admit, I spent probably twice as much as I planned on spending on suits.
Which was still like probably half as much as a suit in England.
Oh yeah. I actually saw my tailor yesterday for something else. And I was like, oh, they went, oh, are you doing the show jacket? I went, I've just had 4 made. Oh, bless. Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Looking forward to that. Can't wait. We're going to get some more information about that out. So just about a year from now, it gives you plenty of time to start planning. And Susan says she was stuck in traffic for 5 hours near Nashville and, well, maybe 13 or 14. Guys, it's been so great. Grant, look forward to seeing you next week.
Yes. Really excited.
So, hey, everybody, thanks for watching Hypno News Live. We're here every Thursday, or damn near every Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Hope to see you. Take care. Be well. Be awesome.